Annyeonghaseyo. What's going on, guys? It's me, Jared, back with another reaction. And today, we're getting into the BTS discography. Discography, man. Every time I say it, just doesn't sound right. I'm still like spinning out. Yeah, I don't know. But it is discography. We're getting into it. I bought my first BTS album last week, which is the new one, Arirang. I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't been well the whole weekend, man. These late nights, these late finishes, taking that promotion at work, becoming the boss, it's, man, my hours have gotten longer. I find myself sleeping less, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I spent the whole weekend, literally just slept, dude, for 2 days. I cannot believe it. I just crashed out for 2 days. I feel bad for my wife. But yeah, we're back. And we're doing, BTS's discography by BoraCity. It's chapter 1. I've been wanting to do this because I'm very curious to see how many albums they have, how many songs they have. By the looks of it, it's in the hundreds. It's huge. And yeah, I'm keen. Hopefully this will point me in the right direction on where to start with BTS. I know I've been doing a lot of their later songs. Yeah, but I really would love to get into their earlier songs. And apparently this discography will help me sort of find what I like, because apparently their genre, they don't have a genre, BTS. They're so talented, they can just literally do any sort of music, which is pretty cool. I'm excited, and it's a great way to get to know their music before I head to their concert. So me and my wife got tickets, and I got my niece ticket too, to the concert, which I'm super excited for. It's my first sort of concert in 100 years, man. I haven't been to a concert since Guns N' Roses came out here, and that was a long, long time ago, life happens, man. You have kids, and yeah, they decide they want to do sport, and that takes up so much of your time. But anyway, let's go. I'm loving this BTS journey. I'm loving learning about BTS. I love all the comments that are helping me steer myself into the right direction. The army look incredible. The army that's entered into the comments. I've had a lot of army in the comments, and yeah, they're really, really helpful. It's a little bit intimidating when you read about the army and you're like, oh wow, because I do want to give my honest opinion on music. I don't want to just say nice things for the sake of saying nice things, but I do want to be honest with my personal opinion, you know what I mean? So, but in saying that, the army have been so nice and so kind, and which is really, really good. It makes it a lot less intimidating anyway to do reactions to BTS. But look, the good thing is there's a lot of BTS that BTS that I have listened to, I have really enjoyed. I've really liked. 2.0 was unbelievable. Dynamite and Butter, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Swim was a great ballad. I thought that song was incredible. So I don't think there's going to be much music that BTS put out that I don't like. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this. And before we do, guys, if I could kindly ask you to hit that subscribe button, just smash it. Smash it right there. I'm still, me and my niece, I've got a couple of videos we filmed, and her camera quality at the moment is pretty horrible. So we're trying to get some funds together to buy her a new camera or a phone. With a better camera on. Her little brother threw her phone in the bloody toilet, and it works, but yeah, the sound quality is terrible. The speaker on it is pretty shocking. So I tried to salvage one. I don't know if I want to post it, but it's pretty horrible, the sound quality. So I'll show it to her, and then if she says post it, I'll post it. I'll do whatever my lovely little niece Lila says to do. Yeah, she's my niece. But anyway, let's get into this, guys. It is an introduction to BTS discography from chapter 1. So I'm guessing there's different chapters in there, or maybe in their careers, when they, yeah, okay. I get it, 50 Cent went through I know, totally different subject, but 50 Cent went through the Get Rich or Die Trying chapter. That's what they call it. So I'm guessing that this is what this is like. They go through different stages and phases. Obviously, as they get older, their taste in music might change too. And let's go. Let's do this. An introduction to BTS discography. So yeah, and if you're wondering why I put the vest on, I'm about to go for a ride after this. So yeah, I got to go to the doctor's. I don't know. The weekend sort of what the heck? I slept for 2 days. That's crazy. It wasn't continuous sleep, but literally I slept for 2 days. It felt like I woke up for an hour and then straight back to sleep. It was crazy. But yeah, just gonna go to the doctors, get a check up, see how it is. But anyway, let's go. Let's get into this. Yeah, super keen.
There are many great introduction videos to BTS out there, but most of them introduce the members' journey, achievements, and personalities. This is very important information for new fans to know, but in this video, I will introduce you to their most important contribution, their discography. BTS's discography can be a little confusing
Guys, this is an hour long, so get comfy.
It doesn't work like most Western discographies or even K-pop discographies. They have official songs, unofficial songs, tracks that are technically not songs, compilation albums, solo albums, solo songs that are BTS songs, solo songs that are not BTS songs, Korean albums, Japanese albums, English singles, and so much more. So I'll try to explain all of that. If you're already an ARMY, I hope this guide can help you understand the timeline of BTS's discography, and maybe even discover some songs you haven't listened to before. And if you're not a fan, I hope this guide can help you understand the basics of BTS's discography and eras, and find the songs with the genres you like the most. I won't spoil the songs for you. I will just quickly hint how they sound and what the themes are, so you can discover by yourself if it's something you're interested in.
I'm curious about that August
D is currently in what they call a Chapter 2, which includes a variety of solo projects all promoted as BTS's projects, as well as new BTS songs with all the members. But since Chapter 2 just started and is still ongoing, in this video I will only talk about Chapter 1 because it's still so extensive that fans can miss some of it. So this is BTS's story explained only through their music. BTS officially debuted in 2013, but it all started in 2007. Namjoon, who later became the first member and the leader of BTS, started sharing his rapping and songwriting on online platforms around the age of 14. The oldest songs people could find of him were under the name Ranch Randa, and they go back to 2008. Later this year, Namjoon, who we know today as RM, started using the name Largo alongside Ranch Randa to unofficially share his songs. Participating mostly in collaborations, he mainly used samples of famous hip-hop songs to write his own Korean raps. He then performed these songs with other underground rappers. The majority of them disappeared from the rap world, but some became well-known rappers in South Korea years after. RM worked with the rappers Changmo, who back then was called Loop, Supreme Boy, who was called Suprema, Zico, who was called Natso, and Ugly Duck, who kept his name. In 2009, RM continued being part of collaborations, now mostly under the name Randa. This was a time when RM gained popularity in the South Korean underground rap scene, especially after the release of the 2009's second 94liners group rap. Along with other rappers, RM became part of the rap crew DNH. These songs from 2008 and 2009 were recognized by the rapper Sleepy, who told his friend and Big Hit producer P-Dog to check out the music of a talented underground rapper who was still in high school. After meeting RM, Big Hit decided to form a hip-hop group with RM in its center. This group was Bulletproof Boys, which they abbreviated as BPB. BPB had 3 rappers, RM, Iron, and Supreme Boy. As BPB, RM released Dreaming and 17 Part 1, and with the other members, BPB released Hook Gayo, Ashes, and We Are BPB. Although BPB
that sounds gone. I want to hear that.
They featured on Love You Hate You by 2AM. This song is technically RM's first official song representing BTS. All the songs I've talked about before this one can only be listened to because of re-uploads, but you can listen to Love You Hate You in every streaming platform since it's officially credited to BTS. Later this year, Big Hit had a rap competition in which contestants had to use one of 4 tracks, 2 produced by RM and 2 produced by Iron. A 17-year-old named Yoongi decided to use RM's 17 track to audition, and he won the first online round. At the rap battle final, Yoongi landed in second place with the songs Swagger and This. Although only the first place was promised a spot in Big Hit, Yoongi was invited to also join Big Hit and record the 2 songs he performed in the competition. In 2011, RM, still representing BPB, was featured in the pop song Bad Girl, which is still accessible on SoundCloud and YouTube, and the ballad Because I'm a Foolish Woman, which is accessible in every streaming platform. Additionally, RM unofficially released Glory as himself, enrolling with his previous rap crew DNH. During this time, there were many changes in the BPB lineup. Big Hit discovered the street dancer Jung Ho-seok and decided to make Yoongi, who we know today as Suga, and Ho-seok, who we know today as J-Hope, become part of the group alongside RM and the other two rappers. Up until this point, the group was clearly intended to be a hip-hop rap group, but Big
Wow.
Hit thought about transforming BPB into a hip-hop idol group with a rap line and a vocal line. The guy who won the rap competition against Suga was eventually not a fit for the group. The previous two BPB rappers were also not a fit for the group. The official lineup was RM, Suga, and J-Hope. But among the many trainees competing to be part
Wow.
of the group, either as rappers or singers, were Jin, who was street-casted, and Jungkook, who wasn't selected for a TV singing competition, but was called by
Wow.
7 music agencies. Jungkook decided to join
Look how
his
young
own
Jungkook
agency
is.
Big Hit because of RM's talent. This new RM Suga J-Hope lineup was abbreviated as BTS, standing for Bangtan Sonyeondan, which is Bulletproof Boy Scouts in Korean.
Wow.
This technically new group unofficially released the original song Saturi Rap, which became a characteristic style for BTS's future songs.
That's crazy.
After this song, Taeyeon, who we know today as V, joined Jin and Jungkook in the trainees lineup. RM and J-Hope representing BTS featured in Lee Seung-gi's ballad The Song That Will Make You Smile, which he officially released in 2020 in every streaming platform and credited RM and J-Hope as BTS. In 2012,
Wow.
only a year before BTS's official debut, a lot happens. Many trainees leave and a new trainee named Jimin joins. This makes the BTS lineup 8 members, but one of them eventually leaves, making the group a 7-member group. 3 rappers, 4 vocalists. Around this
Wow.
time, RM composes more music than ever, and 2 events happen. Suga gets into a car accident, critically injuring his shoulder, and J-Hope leaves BTS. I'm
No
mentioning
way.
these 2 events because they are reflected in BTS's discography. Suga's injury becomes the subject for some of his future songs. About J-Hope leaving the group, we don't exactly know why this happened, but he mentioned how hard it was for him to live far away from his family. In the end, Jungkook convinced J-Hope to stay, and RM convinced Big Hit to fight for J-Hope since he was a vital part of BTS. So as soon
Wow.
as J-Hope is
Wow.
back, he is a featured artist in the Jokbong song Animal, and he becomes the first BTS
How cool is that? Like the boys went to bat for him, eh? That is so cool. Man. Bro, like convincing the record label, like you gotta fight for this guy and Jungkook, you know, like that's crazy, man. That's how you know they're tight. And you look now and you think, wow, like they would look back on that and go, bro, you nearly left. Wow, what the heck?
member to perform.
But I get it, they're young, you know, and being away from family would be hard at a young age.
With the 7 members we know today, BTS releases 2 adaptations of hip-hop songs with unofficial videos, A Typical Trainees Christmas and Let's Introduce Bangtan Room. Only 6 months before their debut, BTS unofficially releases multiple songs to gain people's attention, including adaptations of
Did you hear that sound in the background? Sort of like that. So what, we get drunk. So what, we gonna see.
songs by
Yo.
DJ Khaled, Kendrick Lamar,
I don't know, I may be
Michael
stretching,
Jackson,
but that's
J.
crazy.
Cole, and the most popular pre-debut BTS song, Graduation Song, which samples Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa's Young, Wild and Free.
Yo, look at that. Yo,
BTS continues releasing unofficial songs and freestyles sampling tracks by Nicki
Wow,
Minaj,
look how young they look. Look at RM. Looks like a baby.
BTS teased their official debut on May of 2013 with
These
a
guys are
debut
unreal, I tell you, I
trailer,
love them.
which was later called Intro Too Cool for School, and then officially made their debut with the album Too Cool for School on June 12th of 2013. This is how BTS albums tend to work in Chapter 1. They release 2 or 3 mini
I
albums
wanna try and get that
then
first
a full
one, that
studio
BTS.
album. These 2 or 3 albums that have the same
Too Cool for
theme
School.
are part of an era or a trilogy. The mini albums can either be a single album or an EP, which have 2 to 5 songs. BTS's first album is a single album because
You know what's
it
crazy? Back in the
technically has
day-
only 3 songs.
You know what's crazy? Like back in the day, we used to call those, they weren't called mini albums, they were called singles. So they would release their main track that's going to hit the charts, you know, be on all your like MTV or top 10. And then you would have like 4 other tracks. And like out of the 3 or 4 other tracks, maybe only 2 would make it onto the actual album with their main single. But yeah, now they're called mini albums, which is pretty crazy. It's unreal.
This is common in BTS's first albums. There is an intro, an interlude, an outro, and a skit. A skit is not a song. It's usually a conversation between the BTS members that reflects the story of the album. Since these albums tell the members' thoughts and experiences, the skits show BTS's story and milestones. Additionally, some albums have hidden songs, which you can only listen to on the physical CD. Each album has a title track, which is the main single they are promoting that comes with a music video, and a follow-up promotion.
I've noticed that too. I noticed when I dove into I know they're not K-pop, but when I dove into the K-pop world, I noticed a lot of the albums were weird. I bought an album, I bought a Baby Monster album, and it just came with nothing. It just came with a code to download the songs, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I could have got that off Spotify, but at the same time, you're supporting the group, so I don't mind. But BTS's one, I made sure to get the CD, the actual physical CD. So yeah, this is pretty cool.
Or song that may or may not have a music video, but that they will.
So I like how there's extra tracks on the physical.
In K-pop terms, it's a promoted B-side, and in Western music terms, it's a follow-up. So with that in mind, let's see the story of BTS's first album. Too Cool for School is the beginning of what is known today as the School Trilogy. All of the songs from this era are either hip-hop, R&B, or a fusion of both genres.
Crazy.
The first song, We Are Bulletproof Part 2, is a continuation of We Are BPB with the old lineup. In this song, BTS reaffirms their story of how
who's got the Bulls jersey on?
How despite being young, they had strong music ambitions. This is what made them bulletproof. In a skit, Circle Room Talk, they introduced the theme of the album. After graduating, do they want an office job or follow their music dreams? This is a transition to No More Dream, the album's title track and promoted single. Its main theme was, of course, young people's dreams or lack of dreams and passion. Interlude is an instrumental transition from BTS's heavy rap side to their R&B side. The first R&B track is Like, a song about high school romance and social media. And Outro Circle Room Cypher is a fun skit in which BTS jokingly rap battles each other. The last two tracks are hidden tracks, which means that they are only part of the physical CDs. Path, also known as Road, tells their feelings during the years when the group was coming together and wondering what will be the end of the road. These concerns are expanded in RM's spoken poem, A Skit on the Start Line. All of these albums' lyrics were composed by the rap line. After this, BTS explained their passion to perform in the unofficial song Born Singer, which samples J. Cole's Born Sinner, and it becomes one of BTS's most important songs in their careers. BTS's second
I want to hear more. What the heck?
Oh, Are You Late Too, which starts with a hip-hop intro performed by RM. The title track and lead single is N.O., a protest on how the South Korean education system turns students into studying machines. Because BTS debuted as a hip-hop idol group, RM and Suga received backlash from the underground rap scene they were once part of. Their first response to the criticism was the hip-hop track We On, in which they affirmed that they will not pay attention to
We On, yo!
An example of their determination
is
clear in Skit Are You Happy Now, an audio recorded at 6 a.m. of the members discussing their music path. This is a transition to the hip-hop song If I Rule the World. The R&B track of the album is Coffee, a love song told through coffee metaphors.
I love my coffee, man.
The next song is BTS Cypher Part 1, the first of 4 cyphers performed by the rap line. In this first one, the rappers introduce themselves as the new kids who want to show their talents to the world. Attack on Bangtan, also translated as The Rise of Bangtan, has a similar message, but it has a funkier sound. The funny thing about this song is that it jokingly predicts their future success. The BTS members announce their arrival to the music industry and wonder what will happen if BTS rises.
하지만 방탄소년단이 진격한다면 어떨까?
Yo.
The next track is the rap line's pre-debut song Saturi Rap, now being officially released by the 7 BTS members under the name Baldogang Sang. The last track is Outro Love in School, the first song ever performed exclusively by the vocal line, which introduces the theme of the third part of the School Trilogy. But before continuing the School Trilogy, BTS released 8 unofficial songs in SoundCloud and YouTube. Beautiful is one of their most popular adaptations and it samples Mariah Carey and Miguel's Beautiful. BTS also released two Christmas songs, Perfect Christmas, performed by Jungkook, RM, and other big hit artists at the time, and A Typical Idol's Christmas, an adaptation by the other five members not part of the first Christmas song. The
Yeah,
last
wow.
official part of the school trilogy was the 2014 EP A School Love Affair, introduced by the rap line. The album's main theme is young romance, and it has
Wow,
the
man, they
hip-hop
produced a
rock
lot of
song
music
Boy
in
in
such a
Love
short
as
period of
its
time,
title
eh?
track.
Wow, I love the sound.
In a skit Soulmate, the BTS members ask each other what the album's theme should be, and it introduces the next two R&B pop tracks. Where You From, in which the boy in love meets and starts talking to someone they like, and Just One Day, in which they profess their love. The last five songs basically summarize the whole school trilogy themes: dreams, identity, protest, determination, and love. Representing dreams is Tomorrow,
Wow.
a song about following your dreams despite opposition from others. This track is an R&B hip-hop mix that works as a transition to the heavier hip-hop tracks. Representing identity is BTS Cypher Part 2 Triptych, in which the rap line were the insults from other rappers with pride, showing that they have the abilities and bravery of underground rappers but the success of idol stars. Representing protest is Spinebreaker, a song about the way past generations made today's society obsessed with material possessions. Representing determination is Jump, which showcases their perseverance in a positive, happy light. And representing love is Outro Propose, the vocal lines R&B track about falling in love. After the release of these three albums, part of the school trilogy, the BTS members released some unofficial songs, including 95 Graduation, also known as Graduation Part 2, performed by Jimin and V, who were born in 1995. Soon after, BTS released a special edition of School Love Affair with the original 10 tracks and two new R&B tracks. Please Ride, which served as the title track, and Like Slow Jam Remix, which is a jazzier version of their previous release song, Like. Additionally, they released the instrumentals for 6 of the album's songs. Then Namjoon unofficially releases Unpack Your Bags on SoundCloud, a hip-hop track produced by DJ Soulscape. Since Japan is the second biggest music market in the world, it's common for Korean artists to release Japanese versions of their songs. So BTS released 2 Japanese EPs that come with 2 music videos. These albums are the Japanese counterpart of the school trilogy. The first EP is No More Dream, and it has the Japanese versions of No More Dream, Attack on Bangtan, and Like. Part of their Korean discography, BTS released So For More on SoundCloud, an adaptation of Pro Eras Like Water. BTS will later release another original song titled So For More. So to differentiate them, just remember that this 2014 track is an unofficial SoundCloud song. BTS then releases their second Japanese music video, Boy in Love.
When I was in Japan, I noticed with the music scene, it's very westernized. Like there's a lot of Western music. There's not a lot of Korean music. I didn't hear a lot anyway. It was everywhere you went. It was Western music. So that's crazy. Maybe that's why they got the second largest industry, I guess.
Part of the Boy in Love EP with the Japanese versions of Just One Day and N.O. This is the end of the school trilogy. We then enter the Dark and Wild era, which has their most ambitious project at the time, their first studio album, Dark and Wild. This era is still mainly hip-hop, but it has a rockier sound and more rebellious lyrics composed by the rap line. To promote this project, they released an album preview on SoundCloud, which remixes all of the album songs. The intro What Am I To You, performed by RM, describes the relationship where the other person only cares about themselves. This theme is continued in the title track and the single Danger. I call this era transition into adulthood because it expresses all those disobedient, angry thoughts and feelings young people have before entering adulthood. As BTS puts it in the follow-up single War of Hormone, it's the internal fight of one's own hormones and the negative effects they have on young people. The first classic
real rock sort of tone to it,
is Hip Hop File, also known as Hip Hop Lover, in which they thank 13 hip hop artists for being the inspiration for their music. Going back to the album's theme, BTS talks about
I'd love to know
inevitable end in Let Me.
I'd love to know who those 13 artists were that inspired their music. Yeah, really curious.
No, these feelings intensify in a
If you know, drop it in the comments.
described in the jazz-centric reign. BTS Cypher Part 3 Killer is probably the most popular cipher out of the four. Like the title shows, this cipher is more aggressive and shows more determination and confidence than ever. The next track is an instrumental interlude with Jungkook's voice that serves as a transition to the pop, R&B, and alternative hip-hop songs. Could You Turn Off Your Cell Phone is pretty self-explanatory. It tells the consequences of the social media and technology obsession.
Yeah, 100%.
Embarrassed
I think
or
it's way worse now.
24/7 Heaven and Look Here are all pop R&B, and they are about falling in love and
Look, they were saying that. Sorry, they were saying that in 2014. Like now, I'm telling you, it's way worse now. Like you can't have a conversation with people anymore without them being on their phone. You go out to dinner, they're on their phone. You know, at work, you'll be talking to someone, they're on their phone, and it's like, like. Most of the time, I can't even be bothered. I don't want to talk. Like, if you're not going to pay attention, then I don't want to waste my breath, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like in 2014, they were saying the same thing.
deciding to pursue that love. Second grade expresses their feelings of being in the second year of their music careers. An alternative song title is So For More, a wordplay for sophomore, which is also the title for one of their unofficial SoundCloud songs I talked about before. The outro, Do You Think It Makes Sense, is
Unofficial
performed by the
SoundCloud.
vocal line, which closes
No, I've only ever heard of SoundCloud. I've never actually
heartbreak.
used
As
it or
always,
listened
they
to
released a
music on it.
Japanese
So
EP with
might have to
Danger
get
as
into
the
it.
title track, an EDM remix of Attack on Bangtan, and the Japanese version of Miss Right. They also promoted an alternative hip-hop version of Danger titled Danger Mo Blue Mix, which features the Vietnamese-Australian singer Tan, who adds verses in English. Their next big project
from
is
Australia?
BTS's
crazy.
first Japanese studio album. The intro is a hip-hop track that sets the tone for the album, and the first original Japanese song, The Stars, is, in my opinion, the Japanese version of Path, not because they sound similar, but because they have the same hopeful view on ambitions and dreams. Next, they compiled
I like it, bro. What the heck?
Japanese versions of
I got a lot of music to listen to.
Part 2, which is their second original Japanese song. This is, of course, a continuation of Like, about romance and social media. The last two tracks, Wake Up and Outro, are R&B tracks that reaffirm the album's theme of taking action toward following one's dream. Before releasing the last promoted project of the Dark and Wild era, Jimin and Jungkook released Christmas Day on SoundCloud, and RM collaborated with the American rapper Warren G for the alternative hip-hop song PTD.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, Warren G's one of my favorite rappers, dude. Like he introduced G-Funk to the world. RM, man. I knew I was gonna love RM. I knew I was gonna love these guys, dude. When you're drawing in, when you get guys like Warren G in, man, like if you Dub Shack, you know Dub Shack, Summertime in the LBC, like Warren G, he started all that. He started that whole G-Funk. Man, yo,
and the Dark and Wild promotions
have to listen to that.
A Taiwanese special edition of their Korean studio album with an exclusive Chinese version of Boy in Love.
Now, I've heard people talk about this song, Boy in Love, so.
In 2015, RM, who at the time performed under the name Rap Monster, released his first solo mixtape on SoundCloud titled RM. The 11 tracks have aggressive, fast-paced raps with different samples and adaptations of American hip-hop songs. The three promoted songs with music videos are the title track and the first single, Awakening, the second single, Do You, and the third single, Joke.
I'm not rock, I'm not funk, I'm not R&B or hip-hop. 아직도 뭔지도 모르는 애도 전부 다 파락윗바.
Well, I love his attitude,
His response to all the criticism he received for joining an idol group. RM points out that it's not wrong or disingenuous to make meaningful music designed for people to actually listen to. In the middle of the promotion of his mixtape, RM also participated in the song and music video of Buku Buku with other rappers. BTS's next era is
His
the Youth
flow is
trilogy from
crazy.
2015, in which they began telling a fictional storyline fans can put together by reading their album notes, HYYH books, the Save Me webtoon, and music videos part of the Bangtan universe.
I gotta watch this Save Me webtoon.
Also shows a new vulnerable side from the BTS members. The first part is
guys, we're gonna do a reaction to
the
that
most beautiful
webtoon
moment in life, part 1, also known as Hwa Yang Yong Hwa Part 1, shortened HYYH Part 1. It starts with an intro performed by Suga and visualized in the comeback trailer. The album's title track is I Need You, their first promoted pop lead single, which helped them gain their first music show win. The intro, I Need You, Hold Me Tight, and Skid Expectation explore the dichotomy between angst and optimism, love and hate, and anxiety and fearlessness experienced at the end of being a teenager and the beginning of adulthood. The follow-up single, Dope, is BTS's first dance EDM song, and it represents an adrenaline rush of the celebration of youth. Many attribute this music video at attracting the first significant wave of international fans. Boys with Fun is a catchy dance pop song that makes something clear. This fun version of them is still them. They are still tackling social issues. They are still impacting listeners with their music, but they are having fun while doing so. This is the first official song in which the vocal line joins the rap line in the composition process. Converse High is the album's love song, and it uses.
Hey, look at the outfits, that's crazy!
Converse is a copyrighted brand.
Yo, I like it.
The song's name is Lover's High for Korean TV shows. The R&B tracks are Moving On.
Bro's wearing suspenders.
Outro Love Is Not Over by the vocal line. These tracks talk about the feeling of nostalgia after the end of an era, the end of living in the place where they first met, lived together, and practiced together. The first album is the shock of moving on, the shock of entering adulthood. These new sounds are the consequence of opening up, of being more vulnerable. This doesn't mean that they stop being them. RM continues collaborating with his rapper friends in hard-hitting hip-hop songs, but BTS are different to how they started. This is why they re-record We Are BPB as We Are Bulletproof Part 1 with the 7 BTS members we know today. For the Japanese era, they first released the original Japanese pop
man, he's got away with words,
Japanese versions of World of Hormone and Let Me Know. This year, BTS starts participating in OST projects, which are original soundtracks for series or movies. The first member to release an OST is RM for Marvel's Fantastic Four movie. RM also features in the alternative hip-hop ballad You, and Jungkook features in the ballad One Dream, One Korea. Then BTS releases their second EP, part of the Youth trilogy, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 2. If Part 1 is about the shock of entering adulthood, Part 2 is about the reaction, the scary, lonely, frustrated reaction. The rap line introduces the theme of fighting against life's obstacles in Intro Nevermind. The obstacles are explained in the pop rock title track Run, which shows helplessness and longing for a connection that doesn't exist.
Yo.
The next two songs use animal metaphors and R&B instrumentals to express fear. Butterfly is about the fear of losing someone, and Wailing 52 uses the lonely wail to express the fear of being alone. As the BTS members reflect about their lives, they start reflecting about societies. They sing about their identities with their hometowns in Ma City, and the inequality and unjust privileges of inherited wealth in Silver Spoon. With these songs, they start a new trend in their music, strong social commentary in happy, fun songs. These are pop songs or funky hip-hop songs. Skid One Night in Strange City is a conversation about the recent success. The vulnerable shift they had in The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 1 made them tour in faraway cities like the capital of Chile, the strange city where they recorded this skit. Autumn Leaves, also known as Dead Leaves, is about a person's effort to stay the way they are when they are demanded to mature. In a way, it's about clinging to childhood and youth. This conflicting relationship one has with oneself and others is unstable and addictive, and is predicted to collapse in House of Cards. The second Japanese youth album is I Need You, with Japanese versions of I Need You, Dope, and Boys with Fun. On the side, J-Hope releases his first solo composition, One Verse, on SoundCloud, and BTS makes their first 3 songs for commercials, an original RM composition for a coffee brand, a remake of Run for the shoe brand Puma, and a collaboration with the rapper Jessie for S.
Oh, Jessie, we love Jessie. Bro, Jessie's unreal. We love Jessie. Yo, that's crazy. BTS did a collab with her. Although, albeit for commercial. But, dude, like, them rapping about like social issues and that, and you're growing up, like it would be such, especially for the youth, like there's certain times I remember like come growing up that you feel alone, like you think no one else is still going through this, like you're the only one going through whatever you're going through at the time. You can easily feel like it's only happening to you, and these guys letting the world know and the youth know that no, it's not just you, we're all in it together. Like that's pretty cool, man, to have that awareness and to make that conscious decision to do that. It's pretty brave, and it's awesome. I think it's unreal, and they should be credited for it.
The third Japanese EP has Japanese versions of Run, Butterfly, and a new pop song titled Good Day about their strong, lifelong friendship. The third part of the Korean
that friendship they've got is pretty crazy.
Album, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Young Forever. This album has 2 CDs. The first CD has songs from Part 1 and Part 2, an alternative ballad version of Butterfly with only the vocal line, and 2 EDM singles which show 2 responses to the same struggle. Fire, a fun and catchy song showing a new level of BTS's choreography about carelessly living a troubled life. And Save Me.
Is bro playing Nintendo 64? That's crazy.
About escaping that troubled life celebrated in Fire.
Oh, it's crazy to see their fashion sense change.
It looks so mad. Sentimental anthem, Epilogue Young Forever is the second one. This ballad is the trilogy's conclusion, a positive view about the struggles, fears, and dreams of youth. The second CD compiles more songs from Part 1 and Part 2 and has the full-length edition of the Part 2's outro, House of Cards, and Part 1's outro, Love Is Not Over, now with the 7 members instead of only the vocal line. There's also an urban remix and an electro-pop remix of I Need You, a ballad version and a dance rock version of Run, and an R&B version of Butterfly. So there's a song for every listener. Before starting their next era, BTS continues making music for commercials. This time, they release, promote, and perform a choreographed dance of Family Song with the group G-Friend for a school uniform commercial. For Festa, RM and Jungkook released the pop song I Know, and BTS releases an acoustic version of Young Forever on SoundCloud. In August of 2016, Suga releases his first solo mixtape, August D, on SoundCloud under the name August D.
I've heard a lot about this song.
The entire album is of course hip-hop with a hardcore rap style with underground influences, and it has August D as the first single and Give to Me as the second single. Both of these songs are his response to the South Korean underground hip-hop scene accusing him of selling out for debuting in BTS. The intro is called DT Suga.
Look, I saw that meeting with Sugar and RM, and the way the disrespect in that room was crazy. How they got these two just sat there and like didn't react was unbelievable. Like those older guys that were in there just saying, being part of a hip hop group, it's like, like they were saying some whack stuff, man. And these guys sort of just, they just sat there and like nodding their head. And yeah, dude, like credit to them, because 100%, like no one would have blamed them for getting up and punching that guy in the mouth. Like that was crazy. The disrespect in that room, from what I seen, was just nuts. And these guys, like, they held their own, like.
That his new name stands for DT, which is his hometown Daegutan, and Suga, his name in BTS, all backwards. August D is Suga's alter ego. This is what he explains to his brother in the recorded conversation part of the skit. 724148 is about his success and beginnings. 140503 at dawn has vulnerable lyrics over a minimal beat. The last has a stronger beat with lyrics about depression and self-hatred. Tony Montana is about ambition and envy.
Damn, Tony Montana
works as an
instrument. Say hello to my little friend.
So Far Away, a song about dreams. To end the youth trilogy, BTS releases the Japanese studio album Youth, which starts with the alternative hip-hop track Introduction Youth and compiles old and new Japanese versions of the Youth trilogy. The new original Japanese song is Wishing on a Star, a happy hip-hop pop song about the future and hope. Only weeks after the end of the youth era, BTS starts the iconic Wings era. These songs will become the first projects recognized by major American award shows, giving BTS their first American award show attendance, their first American red carpet, and their first American award. So what exactly was this era about? The main project is the studio album Wings, BTS's first concept album about temptation and growth. To promote this unique concept album based in the coming-of-age novel Damien, BTS released 7 solo short films part of the Bangtan universe that represent the 7 solo songs that will be part of the album. This is the first time each of the 7 members had a solo song on a BTS album. The album's comeback trailer and intro track also follow the pattern from the previous full albums. RM did the intro for Dark and Wild, Suga did the intro for The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, so this time J-Hope did the intro for Wings, with Intro Boy Meets Evil, a dark hip-hop song which explains the story of the album, a young man encountering evil as he grows up. Once this man discovers greed, ambition, and lust, he explains this intoxication in the main single Blood, Sweat, and Tears. The solo songs show a unique genre for each member, and of course, each member participated in the composition process of their songs. The solos start with Jungkook's Begin, a dance pop song in which he thanks the BTS members for bringing him out of his shell. In this song, he also opens up about his weaknesses. Jimin's solo is Lie, an orchestral pop song in which he shows the inner fight between his inner self and the persona the world knows. B's solo is Stigma, a neo-soul song about struggling with identity. Suga's solo song is an alternative hip-hop song about his first love, the piano he learned to play during his childhood. RM's solo is a reflection of self-love and acceptance.
That's pretty cool.
This is a hint of BTS's next trilogy. J-Hope's solo is Mama, a pop song influenced by gospel music in which he explores singing as well as his usual rapping. In this song, J-Hope thanks his mother for supporting him as he followed his dreams. This song connects with the album's concept by relating it to Damien's mother, Eva. Jin's solo is Awake, a ballad about the obstacles towards reaching one's dreams and inspirations. The next 2 songs are subunit songs. Lost is an electropop song performed by the vocal line, which basically combines the themes of all the solo songs. Lost is about feeling stuck, lost, or confused in life. BTS Cypher 4 is the rap line's last cipher, which works as both a response to negative comments and a proclamation of self-love and confidence. This is the beginning of the hip-hop songs. Like I mentioned before, Am I Wrong is the song with strong social commentary disguised in a happy, colorful beat. It's a hip-hop song, but it has elements from country music, and it has direct criticism against South Korean politicians. 21st Century Girls is also a happy song about the double standards women face in society. 2-3 is also about society and life, but it has a more positive view. A celebration of this positive conclusion is the dance pop song Interlude Wings. But the Wings era doesn't end here. Before releasing the next Wings project, BTS released a song for SK Telecom commercial.
Man,
Hope start performing.
These guys have been selling out stadiums for ages. What the heck? Wow, man.
A Japanese trot duet titled Otsukare, which will later be performed by the 7 members.
You know how much fun they're having.
Jin releases a Christmas version of his solo song Awake. B and Jin release It's Definitely You for the Korean drama Hwarang, where B is an actor. And RM releases an unofficial solo song titled Always on SoundCloud. The second project part of Wings is You Never Walk Alone, released in 2017. A repackage of the album Wings.
You Never Walk Alone, Liverpool.
The title track is Spring Day, a power ballad about loss and grief. The music video alludes to the tragedy of South Korea's Sewol Ferry. This song is so beloved in South Korea that it has been charting non-stop in Korean charts since its release.
Wow. Have to listen to that.
The album's follow-up single is Not Today, a powerful song about courage and breaking the glass ceiling. Outro Wings is an extended version.
Actually, that's Spring Day. Hearing that tune. Last year I was at the fireworks show, like the international fireworks show in Korea on the Hangang Park, and I'm sure they played that song. And that beat sounded very familiar. I'm pretty sure that was it. Is that like
and
their
the
national
romantic
anthem now?
story You Never Walk
That's pretty
Alone
crazy.
is an electro-pop song about staying together through hardships. This is the end of the Korean Wings era. In 2017, RM collaborates in 3 songs about social
I wonder if the
change. The
Liverpool
hip-hop
supporters.
songs Change by RM featuring the American rapper Wale, Gaja by the South Korean rapper Gecko featuring RM, and the pop rock song Champion by the Korean rock band Fall Out Boy featuring RM. The official
Wow.
end of the Wings era is the single album Blood, Sweat and Tears with
Fall
Japanese
Out Boy,
versions
wow.
of Blood, Sweat and Tears, Not Today, and Spring Day. For the 2017 Festa, RM and V composed and released the acoustic ballad 4 O'Clock, and Jin and Jungkook joined Suga in a new version of his solo song So Far Away, part of his August D discography. BTS also participate in the Sotaeji 25th anniversary remake project
Come
by
Back Home.
releasing an adaptation of Come Back Home. This
Let's
remake
see.
has a new music video, new rap lyrics, and a new pre-chorus. Then BTS starts the Love Yourself trilogy. These 3 albums will be their first historic trilogy, which will make them get recognized as the first group since the Beatles for getting 3 #1 albums in less than a year. This
Wow.
trilogy represents their journey towards self-discovery and acceptance. The first part is
Yo.
Love Yourself Her, about the joy and happiness of falling in love. This theme is introduced in the album's comeback trailer, Intro Serendipity by Jimin, an alternative R&B song. The title
Let's see.
track DNA continues
Serendipity.
expressing the dreamy version of falling in love. This song was BTS's official American TV debut, performed
Yeah,
at
I thought
the
I'd seen this song
2017
before
American
DNA. I
Music
haven't
Awards.
heard. I didn't fully
DNA
listen
was
to it,
also
but I'm going to
BTS's
now. Like,
first
this is
song
unbelievable.
ever to enter the biggest music
feel
chart
like I've missed
in the
out so
world,
much
the
music.
Billboard Hot 100 at number 85.
Like,
Best of Me,
Yep.
an EDM song produced by the
if I'm being absolute honest, like BTS was not a thing in Australia. Like, if it was very sort of a niche sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't pumped on the airways and stuff, which is a shame because man, it's such good music. I think only recently in the last couple of years, like they've been charting. Damn, like Blackpink also, like only in the last couple of years. But yeah, BTS like 2017, 100%. Like I never heard it on the airways. And I listen to a lot of music. Like I love music. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Chainsmokers and Dimple, an R&B song by the Vocaloid, are also about falling in love. But Pied Piper shows some of the dangers of an excessive love. The rap line wrote this song with the relationship between BTS and their fans in mind. Escape Billboard Music Awards speech is an audio of RM's speech while receiving their first American award.
That's
This
pretty
divides the album's love songs with the songs with stronger social commentary. Mic Drop is the album's follow-up single, which expands the message to the haters they used to give in the ciphers. This is the original version created by BTS and it doesn't have a music video. They also have another follow-up
They should have
song
made a
titled
music video.
Go Go, which is the ironic happy song with deep lyrics from this album. Go Go is a pop colorful song with a sarcastic message about this generation's careless spending as a result from the mistakes from past generations. The album's outro is Her, an alternative hip-hop song by the rap line which reflects the discoveries of looking for someone to fall in love with. But instead of finding love, they discovered a new version of themselves.
That
This
Go-Go
is
about the
end of
careless
digital
spending,
version of the
like
album.
they weren't
But the
wrong,
physical
and it hasn't
CDs
stopped, but
have
that's the
2
worst
extra
thing.
tracks: Skid, Hesitation, Fear, a
It's
conversation
not
they
only
had
it's
right
not
after
only
winning their first Billboard.
it's not only careless spending by society, it's careless spending now by our governments too, which is crazy because it's our money essentially that they're spending. So yeah, they weren't wrong, and this was in 2017. They realized that. So
Music Award and C, an alternative hip-hop song which uses the sea as a metaphor for the road to success full of hardships and disadvantages. As a single, BTS re-releases a remix version of Mic Drop, produced by the American DJ Steve Aoki and featuring the American rapper Designer. Some of BTS's lyrics
Was that
were
Dax?
re-recorded in English, and this was the
Designer?
version promoted to American radio stations. This version charted on the Hot 100 at number 28. For Japan, they released Japanese versions of Mic Drop, DNA, and a new Japanese pop ballad titled Crystal Snow, which follows the romance theme
Wow.
of Love Yourself Her and tells the story of a relationship
Sorry
affected
guys,
by
got up
time
early because of the
moving too
granddaughter.
fast.
It wasn't like 5 minutes. Come into the room.
BTS
Banging
then
on the bloody
releases
chest.
two
What the
commercials,
heck?
Coconut Chicken Song for the BBQ brand and With Soul for the Visit Soul campaign. About their solo projects, J-Hope releases his first solo mixtape, Hope World, in which he explores his identity as regular guy Jung Ho-seok and worldwide star J-Hope, who represents hope. The entire
Wow.
album is alternative hip-hop with poppy, bubbly elements and visuals that paint the hopeful world J-Hope talks about.
I love
Hope
that
World
font
serves as an
on the
introduction
hope.
to the album's theme. In Piece of Peace, J-Hope explains how he identifies himself with his name. The title track is Daydream, which describes J-Hope's world as a fictional scenario, part of a dream.
It would feel like that.
In Baseline, J-Hope explains his street dancing beginnings, and Hansang is his gratitude
Wow.
to the BTS members. Airplane is the mixtape's second single, in which J-Hope talks about his constant airplane flights and uses it as a symbol for his success. The outro is Blue Side Outro, which is different from Blue Side that he will release 3 years after this one. Blue Side Outro
Wow.
shows the scenery J-Hope painted in Hope World. This story will be continued in J-Hope's second solo project. Going back to the Love Yourself trilogy, BTS releases the Japanese studio album Face Yourself. Intro Ring Wanderung is an electro house instrumental which introduces the Japanese versions of Best of Me, Blood, Sweat and Tears, DNA, Not Today, and Mic Drop. The album's original Japanese song is Don't Leave Me, a genre-bending pop anthem about a complicated relationship,
They've
which also
done
serves as a
so
transition
much.
from Love Yourself Her's theme of looking for love and Love Yourself Tears' heartbreaking theme.
It's a little bit
This song
overwhelming.
also serves as the OST for the Japanese series Signal. This album also compiles the Japanese versions of Go Go, Crystal Snow, and Spring Day. The last two tracks are Let Go, a pop ballad with a similar message to Don't Leave Me, and Outro Crack, a continuation to Let Go and the end of the album. Before releasing the second part of the Love
Wow.
Yourself Korean trilogy, they released You're So Beautiful for a Lotte duty-free commercial. The second album of
Lotte
the trilogy
duty-free.
is the critically acclaimed, universally loved, iconic studio album Love Yourself Tear, which explains the pains and sorrows of heartbreak and separation. This theme is introduced in the album's comeback trailer, Intro Singularity by V, a neo-soul song about a story of love and loss. This story is described in the title track Fake Love, which became BTS's first top 10 Hot 100 song. The Truth Untold is a sentimental
nuts.
ballad by the vocal line and produced by Steve Aoki about the protagonist's heartfelt attempt to conquer fear and self-loathing. The next 4 songs are lo-fi, jazzy songs over a hip-hop beat that uses metaphors to explain the painful theme of the trilogy. 134340 uses Pluto losing its planet status as a metaphor for alienation. Paradise
Wow.
uses a marathon in contrast with a sprint as a metaphor for conserving your energy. Love Maze uses a maze as a metaphor for a complicated love. And Magic Shop describes a fictional beautiful place as a metaphor for the exchange of emotions between BTS and their fans' army. The following
That's
song
crazy.
is Airplane Part 2, their first song with Latin
Bro,
pop
the thought
influences,
process,
which
that
works
is
as a
nuts.
continuation of J-Hope's solo song Airplane, part of his Hope World mixtape. The second follow-up song, Anpanman, is a happy poppy song of the album, but it doesn't have their typical ironic message. Instead, it uses the Japanese cartoon character Anpanman to say that they will try their best to protect others, although they are not superheroes. So
That's
What is
sick.
the
That's
EDM
so
track
cool.
of the album, and it has a comforting message about hardships. The outro is the rap line hip-hop song Tear, which ends the album's theme in a darker reflection on love not being only about happy and lighthearted moments, like it used to
100%.
be in Her, the first part of the trilogy. Before releasing the last part and conclusion of the Love Yourself trilogy, BTS celebrated Festa by releasing a Spring Day Brit Rock remix, which they performed at a music festival, and Then, the most beloved unofficial song by the rap line. Then has the typical themes you will find in BTS's ciphers, but the lyrics are way more advanced and the beats have a traditional Korean sound.
That is so
The last
good.
part of the Love Yourself Korean trilogy is Love Yourself Answer, a compilation album with 2 CDs. The first CD is introduced by Jungkook's solo song Euphoria, which talks about happiness, new beginnings, and discoveries about oneself. These themes are also present in J-Hope's solo song Trivia Just Dance. This compilation album's new songs include a new full version of Serendipity by Jimin, a new hip-hop track with jazzy sounds about love and humanity titled Trivia Love by RM, a funky pop song by Suga titled Trivia Seesaw, in which he uses a seesaw as a metaphor for the inevitable ups and downs of life, Epiphany, a solo song by Jin that serves as the album's compact trailer and tells the conclusion of the trilogy, a literal epiphany about accepting oneself in order to truly experience love. I'm Fine is the follow-up song which samples and works as a response to Save Me, part of the most beautiful moment in life beyond forever. The title track is Idol, a song with classical Korean instruments layered with African beats, which represents the ultimate celebration of self-acceptance and identity. The last song, Answer Love Myself, resolves the struggles expressed in the previous songs from Love Yourself tier. The second CD compiles more songs from the trilogy and has rock versions of DNA and Fake Love, Steve Aoki's remix of Mic Drop Without Designer that was part of the Mic Drop music video, and a new version of Idol which also has a music video. This collaboration with Nicki Minaj charted at number 11 on the Hot 100. Additionally, Suga released a remix of Seesaw and I Need You on SoundCloud, and RM releases his second solo mixtape, Mono. This project is completely different to his first solo mixtape that had aggressive, fast-paced hip-hop songs. Mono, on the other hand, has alternative R&B songs with relaxed instrumentals and introspective lyrics represented in the minimalistic animated music videos. In Tokyo and Seoul, RM explains his insecurities and feelings of loneliness. Moonchild has a comforting message to feeling like an outcast. Bad Bye is sorrowful. All Good is pensive. Everything Goes is uplifting and hopeful. And the title track Forever Rain talks about depression and the fear of change.
Don't feel change. Change is always a good thing.
BTS's third collaboration with Steve Aoki is Wasted on Me, a future-based dance-pop love song produced by Steve Aoki and interpreted by RM, Jimin, and Jungkook. To promote this song, Steve Aoki releases remixes by the DJs and producers Slashy, Cheat Codes, and W&W. But it was the original version which charted at number 89 on the Billboard Hot 100. The last project part of the Love Yourself trilogy is a Japanese single album with Japanese versions of Fake Love, Airplane Part 2, which has a music video, the Stadium remix of Idol, part of the physical CD only, and an alternative Japanese version of Fake Love. This is the official end of the Love Yourself trilogy. Before starting a new era, BTS enters their mini solo songs era. RM features in Drunken Tiger's hip-hop song Timeless, Jimin releases the acoustic pop song Promise, Suga composes and features in Isura's ballad song Request, V releases the acoustic ballad Scenery, and RM is a featured artist in Honey's Crying Over You featuring Becca. In 2019, BTS enters their Map of the Soul era based on Jungian psychology. The first album of this era is the EP Map of the Soul Persona, which explores the personality one projects to others. This theme is introduced in the concept trailer by RM's colorful hip-hop solo song Intro Persona. The album's title track is the funky pop song Boy With Love, featuring the American singer Halsey, which explores happiness, love, and one's own persona. Boy With Love is also a response to BTS's 2014 song Boy In Love, part of the School trilogy. Boy With Love charted at number 8 on the Hot 100. Microcosmos and Home are pop songs dedicated to their fans, and Make It Right is produced by the English singer Ed Sheeran about the desire to improve relationships and the world. Jamais-vous is a song interpreted by Jin, J-Hope, and Jungkook, which explains the psychological phenomenon opposite of a deja vu. The EP's conclusion is the follow-up promoted song Dionysus or Dionysus, which uses the Greek god of wine as a representation for the persona concept. This song became part of BTS's most iconic live performances and choreographies.
Sorry, I had no idea there was an opposite to deja vu. Obviously, there's an opposite to everything. I just never thought about it. I'll have to Google that and see what the heck that is. That is crazy. What would the opposite of deja vu be? Because deja vu is like, the feeling of that you've experienced it before or seen it before. So the opposite would be like, I've never seen it before. But that doesn't even make sense because that just means you've never seen it. I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that. That is pretty nuts. What the heck? I've never ever thought about that. Yeah, wow. They made a full song about it. What the heck?
Project, Jin releases the ballad
It just shows you their line of thinking. It's like a little bit out there. That's crazy.
And an original soundtrack album for this came with the song and music video Heartbeat. And the collaborations Dream Glow
That's
by
nuts. It's blowing my mind that I've never thought about.
The English singer Charlie XCX, A Brand New Day by J-Hope and V featuring the Swedish singer Sarah Larsson, and All Night by RM and Suga featuring the American rapper Juice WRLD. For Festa, Jungkook releases a remix of his solo song Euphoria, and part of the Japanese Map of the Soul era, BTS releases the music video for the original Japanese ballad Lights, part of the EP with the Japanese versions of Boy With Love and Idol. Then we have
These guys done so much, They produce so much.
Remix of Old Town Road titled Soul Town Road. V releases the ballad Winter Bear along with a music video, and J-Hope releases an adaptation of Chicken Noodle Soup featuring the American singer Becky G. This is BTS's first trilingual song with Korean, English, and Spanish lyrics. Going back to the Map of the Soul promotions, BTS releases the alternative version of Make It Right featuring the American singer Love with a music video. To promote this collaboration, they also released an EDM remix and an acoustic remix, but it was the original collaboration that charted at number 76 on the Billboard Hot 100. Additionally, Suga participates in Halsey's album In Suga's Interlude. The last official part of the Korean Map of the Soul era is the studio album Map of the Soul 7, released at the beginning of 2020. It's really unfortunate that this is probably BTS's biggest project ever, but the promotions were cut short because of the pandemic. This is still a legendary album that shows BTS's experience of being in the music industry for 7 years. Despite everything, it was 2020, the year when BTS started charting almost all of their songs on the Billboard Hot 100. This album shows a story in 3 parts: Persona, Shadow, and Ego. The album's comeback trailer uses the intense hip-hop song Interlude Shadow by Suga to show one's own fears, darkness, and shadows. These themes are also represented in Black Swan, BTS's first pre-release single ever. They released an art film performed by NN Dance Company and started promoting this song as a single before releasing the album or the official music video. Despite releasing this song on its own, Black Swan charted at number 57 on the Hot 100. The solo songs include the Latin pop song Filter by Jimin, about showing 2 sides of oneself, and the R&B song My Time by Jungkook, about growing up and how fast time passes. Both of these songs charted on the Hot 100 at number 87 and 84 respectively. The alternative R&B Louder Than Bombs and the powerful lead single On, which is musically inspired by marching band music, talk about BTS's fighting and hardworking mindset as artists and people. On became BTS's highest charting song at the time by debuting at number 4 on the Hot 100.
That's not
The next 2 songs show 2 opposites. Ah or Ugh by the Rap Line is an aggressive hip-hop song about the world's anger and malicious actions. And 0 O'Clock by the Vocal Line is an alternative R&B song about staying happy and taking every day as a fresh start. Entering the Ego section of the Map of the Soul concept, we have Inner Child, a solo song by V about the story of reflection to his inner self. Friends by Jimin and V about the story of their friendship over the years. Moon, a solo song by Jin in which he uses the moon and the earth as metaphors for BTS and ARMY, and Respect, a song by RM and Suga about disrespect and hypocrisy. A conclusion to We Are Bulletproof Part 1 and We Are Bulletproof Part 2 is We Are Bulletproof The Eternal, an emotional song opposite to the first 2 parts, which shows BTS's gratitude to their fans for letting them be a group for 7 years. This story is shown in an animated music video. The album's outro is Ego by J-Hope, a retro hip-hop song with Afro beats about the Jungian concept of...
I'm sorry, pausing. I see now why the ARMY are so protective of BTS. Like, the amount of times BTS have thanked the ARMY and thanked their supporters, like, to dedicate entire songs to them. I don't know of anyone else who's done that, like, you know, who sort of shows that much respect and that level of respect to their fans and to, you know, to the ARMY, which is incredible. So I do see why, because they've literally made the ARMY an integral part of their career. Like, like they're in it together, which is pretty awesome. I think that's amazing. Yeah, that's incredible. So I see why they're so protective.
Ego, the central part of one's consciousness that one is most aware of. This is the happy celebratory conclusion of the album. The last song is an alternative version of On featuring the Australian singer Sia, only part of the digital version of the album. Next, we have the solo projects released during the pandemic. RM featured in a powerful ballad Winter Flower by Yi, Jimin and Jungkook featured in Love's pop song Who. V releases Sweet Night for the Korean drama Itaewon Class.
Itaewon Class
featured and produced IU's pop rock song 8, which won awards for Best K-pop Song, Best Rock Song, Best Collaboration, and Song of the Year at multiple South Korean award shows.
Sorry, it's not about BTS, but if you are a fan of Korean drama and you have not seen Itaewon Class, you have to watch it. It's such a great show. It's like up there, I think top 5 for me personally in Korean dramas. I think it's unreal.
Suga also released his second solo mixtape as August D, titled D2, in which he shares his viewpoint on the contemporary world and the questions he has about society. The title track is Dechuita, which uses the sound of traditional Korean military music.
Such a gritty sort of style of rapping,
has collaborations with RM, the Korean singer Nihwa, the American singer Max, and the Korean singer Kim Jong-won. As part of the 2020 Festa, Jungkook released the jazzy R&B Still With You. And as the last project part of the Map of the Soul era, BTS released the Japanese studio album Map of the Soul 7, The Journey, with the new tracks Intro Calling, Outro The Journey, and the singles Stay Go and Your Eyes Tell. These new songs have their characteristic sound from their Japanese discography. The next era is the trilogy of English songs. BTS's songs meant to uplift everybody during the pandemic. To reach bigger audiences, they released these 3 songs in English. The first one is the record-breaking disco pop song Dynamite, which became BTS's first song to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow. I love it. I just love the upbeat, happy vibe.
EPs with alternative versions. The first EP was the summer theme daytime version with an EDM remix, a tropical remix, and a poolside remix. After this, BTS released the best original song for a commercial the world will ever see, Ionic, I'm On It for Hyundai.
Wow.
Then, Max and Suga released the pop single Blueberry-Eyes. To promote this single, Max released new versions with music videos with Stevie Aoki and another version with the American rapper Lil Mosey and the American singer Olivia O'Brien. Next, BTS releases the nighttime version EP for Dynamite with a slow jam remix, a midnight remix, a retro remix, and a bedroom remix.
Wow.
Additionally, they released a music video for a 70s remix of Dynamite. I really recommend listening to these versions because BTS performed these alternative versions in different TV shows and award shows, and the stages show their range as performers. BTS's next single is a collaboration between Josh 685, Jason Derulo, and BTS titled Savage Love. This version with BTS reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it the first song with Korean lyrics to top this chart.
Wow.
Because of the pandemic, BTS started a reality series titled BTS in the Soup, with In the Soup as the original soundtrack. This time also gave them the opportunity to work on their next studio album, B, a project directed by Jimin in which they expressed their frustrations and feelings about the pandemic. This album had all of its songs chart simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100. The title track, Life Goes On, became the first full song in Korean to reach number 1 on the Hot 100. The music video was directed by Jungkook. The pop neo-soul Fly to My Room by Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, and V charted at number 69. The soft ballad Blue and Grey charted at number 13. This skit is a conversation with the members' first thoughts after getting their first number 1 song, Dynamite. The happy pop song Telepathy charted at number 70. The old-school hip-hop Disease charted at number 72. And the EDM pop song Stay by RM, Jin, and Jungkook charted at number 22. Dynamite stayed at number 1 for 3 weeks. and stayed on the
Wow.
Hot 100 for 32 weeks. As Christmas time
Wow.
began,
Yeah,
Jin
yeah.
released the acoustic ballad Abyss, BTS released a holiday remix of Dynamite, Jimin released his solo Christmas song Christmas Love, and V released his solo Christmas song Snowflower featuring the Korean singer Big Boy. At the beginning of
Wow, Big Boy.
2021, the vocal line sang a cover of the song Jungle for a Coca-Cola commercial, and J-Hope released the full version of Outro Blue Side,
Oh,
this
wow.
time titled simply Blue Side. As
Yeah, wow.
BTS gets closer to the end of Chapter 1, they release anthology albums which compile their most iconic songs over the years, which are not only successful but also tell their story in the music industry. But before BTS released their Korean anthology album, they released the compilation album BTS The Best, which officially wraps out their Japanese discography in 2 CDs. The
Yeah,
first
wow.
song of the first CD, which also worked as a pre-release single, is Film Out, their first Japanese song ever to enter the Hot 100 at number 81.
Good Lord. Man, they've done so much music.
The rest of the first CD, as well as the second CD, compiles their
Boys,
most
wow.
iconic songs in Japan. Going back to their Korean
Wow.
discography, RM features in Don't by Lee. This is the second out of the 3 collaborations between them. The third one is part of Chapter 2. The second single part of the trilogy of English songs is the summer song Butter, which stayed at number 1 on the Hot 100 for 7 weeks.
Wow. I love this song. I love
Butter
him.
EP has a house bass remix, which has a music video, an electro pop remix, a dance pop remix, which also has a music video, and an instrumental track. For Festa, RM released Bicycle, and BTS performed new versions of their songs on their anniversary concert Master. These songs are a Korean version of their Japanese song Wishing on a Star,
Wow.
and a live EDM remix of Not Today. The
Not
third
Today.
project part of the trilogy of English songs is Permission to Dance, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow.
Permission to Dance was initially released in a single album with Butter, but it was also part of the single album Permission to Dance that comes with an R&B remix. Since they were technically promoting both Butter and Permission to Dance together, they released a remix of Butter featuring the American rapper Megan Thee Stallion. The previous year, BTS partnered with Samsung to promote their Galaxy phones. BTS were part of
Wow.
commercials using Dynamite and Butter, and even released their own BTS edition Samsung Galaxy phones and earbuds.
Wow.
Additionally, Suga produced an alternative version of the classical ringtone Over the Horizon. You can use Suga's 2021 and 2022 ringtones in Galaxy phones. BTS's next big single was a collaboration with the British band Coldplay
Beetlejuice.
titled My Universe.
Yeah, wow.
With verses in Korean and English, BTS and Coldplay debuted at number 1 on the Hot 100 and stayed on the chart for 17 weeks. To
Wow.
promote the song, they released Supernova 7 Mix, the instrumental, an acoustic version, a tropical remix by Suga, a remix by the Swedish duo Galantis, and a remix by the French DJ David Guetta.
Guetta,
For the
wow.
TV drama Jirisan, Jin released the sentimental ballad Yours. To officially end the promotion of Butter, they released a holiday remix of Butter. This is the last project part of the trilogy of English songs. Then we enter a small era of solo projects. Jin releases the fun song Super Tuna about his love for fishing. Suga participates on Juice WRLD's second Boss Heroes
No way,
album
rest
by
in peace,
featuring
Juice
in the
WRLD.
song Girl of My
Rest in
Dreams.
peace.
And V releases the ballad Christmas Tree
Big
for
fan
the
of Juice
soundtrack
WRLD.
of the Korean drama Our Beloved Summer. In 2022, Jungkook releases Stay Alive, produced by Suga, with a music video by the 7 BTS members for their webtoon 7 Faiths Chakko. Jimin releases With You with the Korean singer Ha Sung-woon for the K-drama Our Blues. And Suga produces and features in That That by the Korean singer Psy.
Psy.
The last project part of Chapter 1 is the anthology BTS album Proof. This album compiles the most important songs of BTS's career in 3 CDs. Their first CD has their 19 most significant singles. The first song is the unofficial adaptation of Born Singer, which they released on
Wow.
SoundCloud on 2013. But this time, they bought the rights to use the sample from J. Cole and officially release it as a BTS song. The
Wow.
other singles are No More Dream, N.O., Boy in Love, Danger, I Need You, Run, Fire, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Spring Day, DNA, Fake Love, Idol, Boy with Love, On, Dynamite, Life Goes On, Butter, and the new single Yet to Come, in which they thank their fans for all the years of support and promise to bring even better
That's so
music
cool.
on their next
That's
chapter as
so
BTS.
The best yet to come.
The second CD compiles the 15 most representative solo and subunit songs. The first song is a new song by the 7 members titled Run BTS, a reference to their Variety web series.
Energy, man.
The other
Energy,
songs are
bro.
Arm's Persona, Stay, Jin's Moon, Jamevu, Suga's Seesaw, The Rap Lines Cypher 3, J-Hope's Ego, The Rap Lines Her, Jimmy's Filter, Friends, V's Singularity, the vocal lines 0 O'Clock, Jungkook's Euphoria, and the vocal lines Dimple. The third and last CD of Proof has 14 songs. 13 of them are only available on the physical CD. This third CD compiles demo versions, songs that were never released, such as Young Love and Quotation Mark, an instrumental version, an a cappella version, and the new song For Youth. This is the only song from the third CD which you can listen to on streaming platforms.
Wow.
This is the official end of BTS's Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is still ongoing and it has solo songs, solo albums, subunit songs, and songs with the 7 members. So let me know in the comment section if you learned anything new today and what is your favorite BTS era.
Happy 10 years BTS and ARMY. Wow. Wow, dude, like it's a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of music that I get to discover about, which is pretty cool. Where do I start? I'm not sure. Literally, I'm gonna just go from the beginning, like you said there, and work my way through. There was some that really caught my eye there, and I can't wait to dive into. Yeah, wow, they produced so much music. Like, it's a shame it never got here, never made it to Australia. Like, it's a little bit annoying, to be honest. Yeah, wow. Gee whiz. Warren G, oh my gosh. I'm stuck on that. And I'm so sorry, guys, but Warren G was like, I love Warren G. He was a big influence in my life. Like, his music I was able to relate to and stuff. So, yeah, incredible. Holy crap. Like, wow. I knew, man, like, they had good taste. Oh, but looking at that, I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's a little bit overwhelming. It's like they've got so much music, and there's so much I want to listen to. But I've seen some really good stuff in there. Yeah, wow. What do you do? All right, guys, I'm gonna head off to the doctors. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, BoraCity, for doing that. That certainly helped. It certainly opened my eyes to what sort of music there is. And I'll be honest, I didn't think there was anything there I didn't like. The sounds are amazing. So I can't wait to dive into it even more. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. I'm going to get to the doctors, and I will see you in the next one. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Kamsahamnida. And yeah, catch you in the next one. All right, love you all. Peace. Stay blessed. Have a good day.